Hello, and welcome to another edition of Checking Bitcoin Prices. So now we are kind of moving towards the end of this correction, perhaps. And there are a few different scenarios that we can look out for. So this scenario has a W here. Wave X is a triangle. And then we're looking for an expanded flat. So A, B, and wave C to complete wave Y. And in an expanded flat here, the reason why we have an expanded flat in wave Y is because we hit the 07 here fib target, and if we hit that, it becomes very unlikely that we are going to see a double zigzag. So then it's much more probable that we will see a more sideways correction. And in a sideways correction, if W is a zigzag, then Y can't be a zigzag. And since wave X was a triangle, there's a very, very low probability that wave Y also is a triangle. So that leaves basically an expanded flat or a regular flat. And since we already moved past the finish here on the triangle, this is an expanded flat in unfolding if we are getting that pattern basically. So that is one scenario. Then we have a bullish scenario where wave Y here is finished. And as I mentioned before, that we hit the 7 here, the 70 fib. But that is the unorthodox end. So the orthodox end here is here in the triangle. And that is basically where you want to draw your fibs from. And we hit the 70 here, but that's not, as I said, the orthodox end. So you could argue that, well, we hit this. Yeah, we did. And if we count a little bit different, maybe this would be saying that we hit 70, but you never know. So it's just about probabilities. So here we have wave Y as a finished zigzag. So we have a WXY, a double zigzag. And here we are looking for an impulse up in wave 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and so on to all-time highs. The issue here is that we hit the 886 here. And that is not a common target. You can see here, the 886 was hit here in wave 2. That is not a common target for a wave 2. It's very unusual. But it's not an invalidation, so it could be a possibility. And so basically we're looking for the correction here. If this looks impulsive, then we might consider the flat scenario. But if this looks corrective, then we might look at this scenario as being the highest probability. So yeah, we also have a few other scenarios. So this is basically the same scenario as the expanded flat one. Here is a diagonal bearish scenario. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The issue with this is that wave 3 here, you can see the length compared to wave 2. You can't really see the length compared to wave 2 here. You can do it like this. So compared to wave 2, it's over 3 times thin here. And compared to wave 1, it's almost 6 times longer in the time. And that is very unusual. And also, if we hit this channel, then it invalidates the diagonal, because a diagonal needs to converge, so to speak. And this line here is this channel which it doesn't converge. So if we hit this, then the diagonal is invalid because it doesn't converge, basically. So this is also another scenario. And also we had this. So this is the impulsive downwards movement, basically. And this is, it's a bit of a stretch to count like this, but it's 1, 2, and then we are looking for another 1, 2, and here we have another 1, 2. And so on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and moving down. But the issue here is that this wave 2 hit the 886, which is a very uncommon target for wave 2, as I previously mentioned. So if we then remove this 1, 2 count, then we need to move the 2 over here. And you can see it becomes very, very long. So if we count it compared to wave 1 here in time, you can see it's like 1400% longer. And that is, it doesn't look good for this scenario. So if this scenario isn't looking good, and if this scenario isn't looking good, these are the only scenarios that are leading down. Then we can draw the conclusion that, at some point we need to take out this high. That is the highest probability. And it doesn't really matter if we do it in a finished W, X, Y, double zigzag, or if we do it in a flat A, B, C. We could also be seeing like a WXY to a wave A, and then have a longer wave B, and then a longer wave C here. But more of that when we reach those possibilities. So now we are basically looking here for if this is corrective or if it's impulsive. And if it's corrective, as I mentioned, then it's higher probability to take out this high. And then this scenario basically take precedent over other scenarios. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please let me know in the comments if you want to see some other coins, or if you want to see another approach to this Bitcoin count. Maybe you have one of your own that you want to share. Yep. All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.